Hey, Thomas Mayhew, eXp Realty Ohio, and TomMayhewRealEstate.com. Hope you're doing fantastic today. Today, I'd like to chat with you about the best mold treatment that I've discovered. So I found this about a year and a half ago, was subsequently reintroduced to it in a health coaching program that I'm a part of. And so I'll tell you the company name in a minute, but just want to chat with you a little bit about mold. And of course, uh, most of us have heard that mold can really mess up your health. Some of us, especially when we were young, we think, oh, I'm tough and nothing bothers me. But there are things that could bother you, like, with what used to be called the deadly feared black mold. Of course, the problem with that moniker or that name that was hung on, that mold, I would think in particular it was found in Seattle and places like that. There was some high profile cases where people subsequently died from it, actually. 90% of molds are black in color. So, and sometimes that particular black mold can be pink or other colors, as I understand it, depending on what they're feeding on. Mold's not very picky about what it eats, as it turns out. So black mold is a misnomer. It's, you can't identify. And if you see black mold, doesn't mean it's the deadly, feared, quote unquote, black mold. Okay, so 90% are black in color. So color really can't help you at all when it comes to figuring out, is this toxic mold or not. Now, I guess that one point you can get out of that is you can't always trust what the media says. They kind of grab onto something that may or may not be correct, and you're only getting probably half the story. The problem is you don't know which half. And that's a problem you have when you have 90% of the United States media controlled by basically two companies. So, but that is another point, and I guess I digress. So there is a relatively quick and effective way to get rid of molds. And this another interesting thing I learned about molds is that, there might be, let's say 150 types of one type of mold, okay, in one certain family of molds, right? And most of them are not toxic. And so, but when they do the actual mold test and it comes back and says, oh, you've only got this level. The problem is it doesn't tell you if it's the toxic ones or not. So this is a real challenge when you might have, maybe you go the extra mile, you have your house inspector, actually do a mold test, and then you come back and it says, oh, satisfactory. Well, if it's one of the really bad types of mold, it's not satisfactory. The other part that I learned, and this is not in the article that I wrote for today, but it is that they take a very small sample of air inside and outside the house that's being inspected for mold. Then when it goes to the lab, they take 1/4 of whatever stuck to the panel, and they analyze that. Well, if there's a lot of dust in the house and the dust stuck to the panel, then the mold couldn't stick to it, and so then they might not have a very accurate reading. So there's all kinds of issues with these tests, all kinds of issues. Okay. So back to that company. So the company is called Pure Maintenance. Okay, so you can look them up online, puremaintenance.com. And see if there's somebody that's nearby you, and they might do 1 or 2 treatments, and it's not cheap. Okay, so a lot of times you can have the fastest and the best, but not the cheapest, right? So this is the fastest and the best that I know of, and what I mean by best is that they come in and they do a fog treatment in the house, and apparently because of the type of chemical that they're using, and it's not toxic as I understand it. It is toxic to mold though, which is what you want, but it actually gets into the walls, so it literally will kill everything. Now it may take 2 treatments, but that's pretty awesome. So it also it made me think. I've helped a ton of investors over the years. Sometimes you wonder, well, maybe is this mold in the walls? Well, if you can budget for that as an investor and just kill it all, and then provide clean bill of health, or show that, hey, I had this Pure Maintenance treatment or treatments, that could be pretty good. Not only that, but while you're working on the property, wouldn't it be good to know that the mold is actually dead, right? Okay, so that's some of my thoughts there. I think that's probably everything on that I want to discuss. But when I purchased my last property, there we knew there was mold. We had inspection done, and indeed there's mold. So we remediated, or actually we had the seller remediate the obvious mold, but then there's a bit more. I've been dealing with that personally, and at some point it may make sense for me to bite the bullet and do a treatment with them. So I have not used them yet, but I guess the point is that in this health coaching program that I'm doing, one of the things that they're looking for is anything upstream that's causing people in the family to be sick. Okay, so that's a potential upstream issue or cause, and so we're gonna get to the bottom of that at some point for sure. So anyways, if there's anything I could do to help you, of course, I'm all about making sure you get a good, healthy, happy home, and if there's anything I can do, if you want to chat about health, you want to chat about real estate, I'm here for you and happy to help. 440-420-1342. Have a good one.